despite Sinners looking pretty solid in their own regard. 33 maps played, 64% map win, which, you know, 9 times out of 10, that's looking like statistically the best map in kind of for them. Here, they actually come in towards that one as an underdog for the first time in a long time. So that Inferno becomes very, very important for Sinners. They've got to get a nice win under their belt to kickstart things, or potentially they could be in a bit of trouble just with how good friendly campers have looked there. But without further ado, let's get the show on the road. We're kickstarting things on Inferno. It is the pick of Sinners as they'll start on that T side. And like we were just discussing, for me, they actually kind of need to win this map to give themselves the chance of going 3.
It's up one for them. 4B start here for the Poles. And Samey decapitates Kisarek, so Polish on Polish action to get us going here in this semi-final. Look at this. We're going to continue to press the issue. There's a lot of players in mid for the terrorist side. So they need to have their wits about them. Is going to swing out a banana. Peppo collects another. And maybe this aggression wasn't the best idea. It's now an even scenario. I appreciate they have them a little bit penned in, but 1 kill from this T side and they bust open so much of this map.
Question is now, what does the reaction look like? It's been leveled, and Sinners are just pumped the brakes. They are happy to play out a bit of a slower T-side, something that friendly campers are also more than happy to throw in, these tempo changes, these more dynamic rounds. Samey, who kickstarted this round, looks in towards Boiler. Spots one, but both now awaiting game. It feels like for Sinners, they're just hoping that they can catch somebody off guard.
So massive for the defense that they got the stack right. All 3 are here. And quite frankly, they need to be winning this round when they're making reads like that. That said, it's not going to happen. B-Stick spins on a dime. So despite friendly campers, they had an excellent opening kill from Samey. They had 4 banana that pushed out together. And they get the A stack correct. There's a lot of reasons why they should have cleaned up this round. And they couldn't get over the line. That is pistol rounds for you.
Yeah, and they were, you know, ready for that fight as well, and it just falls apart. Really nice isolation of fights. B-Stick, AGL leading by example. Good work for him. Do get a pretty immediate tech pause, unfortunately, but hopefully only a brief one. And you look at this in the side, it's now a good little runway to just kick starting towards your map pick. You get the pistol, the force buy should go in your favor, despite, as we can see here, reinvestment coming through for friendly campers. You are going to bring in just a little bit more firepower to the table. Got the AK for Kisarek as well. It's in the right hands. I think, you know, his recent form as of late has been quite electric for this in the side. And Galil's for Stress on and Peepo. I'm looking forward to seeing Peepo on the AWP as well. I think, you know, there was obviously this big debate when Oscar ended up leaving this side and going on, it was Inner Circle he went to immediately after this, before then kind of playing on a few mixed teams. You know, it's big shoes to fill. Oscar's always been so solid. He's kind of been notorious within this Sinners roster. He's been such an important and integral part of their successes. How do they fill those gaps? And Peepo, this youngster who came through the academy, looking really, really good since he's come in. Free plant. Mac 10 could farm some cash here, and yeah, he'll do exactly that. Shock easy for the first. There's basically this debate here really now for running campers. Do we even want to feed the Mac 10? I don't even think it's worth it. You just don't want to give that much kill bonus over.
They're hunting around looking for a lurker, but there isn't one. All 5 for Sinners. Hard committed. Onto the site proper. Oh, that's a nice kill. They certainly love to take away some of these rifles. Peppo here. And Molly himself. Should think as long as he keeps high HP, he won't die from the bomb, but he can't afford to take too much damage. See a bulk of those CTs coming into CT spawn now. Should be a bit of a mow down. And they don't find anything else. So Sinners, 2 on the board. And it's probably worth raising that the biggest surprise last week when Sinners won the 4th cup is that Shock was the MVP. Shock was the best player by a margin in that grand final. He was sensational. And Shock doesn't necessarily play positions that lend themselves to being the highest fragging individual. And certainly with this team, if Shock is playing well, and then you add in Kisarek and Strasarin, that is when I'm open to that power vision conversation. That does change the dynamic.
Yeah, I'm with you. If we can get so many different facets of firepower for Sinners. It does become quite exciting. It's right. Go for the first. He nearly gets a second. One more bullet. And he probably would have found it. Both Peepo and Kisarek left low. What an unfortunate time to run out of ammo. He's playing up close. An inkling there's a boiler player there. Naturally not playing too aggressive in towards apartments. That's more of a gimmick play. It's a great way to start things off. Not only an opening kill, sure it gets traded, but so much damage. I mean, if Shock falls here, they're in a lot of trouble. And Peepo will drop to the Mac 10. Same goes for Shock, and they all fold and drop like dominoes. Nice round on that CT side there for Friendly Campers. First buy in, and they actually make it look pretty clean.
Old calling as well. Freebie start. Trade kind of 1-for-1, but granted the damage was good. The mid-round call, though, to load up A. They were just about to peek mid and clear out boiler. That's when they met resistance. But very bold move. They left B heavily exposed. They almost certainly would have lost the round if Sinners committed B. So brave move, but fortune favours the bold, as we like to say here in the UK. And that is a nice way to get on the board. This time, Banana looking a bit slower. It was too much carnage last time, so let's drop the pace for all involved.
Okay. All right, go. Swings behind the Molotov. No one up close. But a spam try and bait out a fight. Smoke going to go down towards Cubby too. Just ever so slightly trying to nullify. Oh, don't want to be peeking stress on. He is crisp. When he's given the green light to go, he can be difficult to deal with. Samey gets one, a little bit of damage, Molly down, and he actually gets the luxury of resetting.
I think they do need to save, though. If they can't get an early kill, well, especially now the Shock has collected one on the lurk. These guns are too valuable, I think, for this CT side. It will guarantee a buy in the following if they can keep these going. So, got to make that tough decision now. And Stress Aaron showing us why he excites us so much as a player. He does lead the way on a lot of, plays for map control, site hits as well. And that is why, because he clicks the heads very, very well.
Well, it does look like they'll be given the luxury of saving at the end here. So it's a silver lining. We're going to take an AK into us next round, and M4, of course, save. You can buy around this pretty comfortably. Potentially could actually go for an AWP if they want to. Samey's got enough to drop one over. Question being, is to take that risk, right? I think, inherently, if you do pick up the AWP here, it's a nice little long-range advantage to have, but at the same time, somebody's got to take a little less utility. They're not going to go for that. Going to continue with the 5 rifles. But still, a 3-1 start on your map pick. And this is a lot more like the Sinners that we've come to know and love as of late. Stress on, beautiful 2 kills, an early banana pressure being taken.
So mortar strike. Kisarek is almost dead as well. Yeah, that was a perfect call from Friendly Campers. And if I'm Sinners, I don't know what I'm doing next. I used a lot of my util as well to fight for Banana there and got pretty ham-fisted. Okay. It's going to be tough, I think, to get into an even scenario later in this round. Maybe they need to play for a frag here, get some... Go out for long and try and get some more control. A straight-up side execute right now. I wouldn't bet on them, to be honest.
What have they got for us?
I would definitely do something long in their position. Been going up short, go into a crossfire. You don't have the bodies, I don't think, to win that. Go out long and essentially sow a bit of chaos. Just make the CTs have to, make Buy Me Here have to commit to site or back in library. Make them, put them under some pressure. Don't let them just sit on their sites and play out standard setups.
I'd say double stack. I mean, it's not an easy angle to hit. He spots a pixel and will fall away, flashing towards long. Oh, and that actually cost Bajmi is live. Moonwalk gonna get 2. He can play around this smoke. Sin's actually in a bit of trouble. Look at the time. It's done. The round is over.
Yep.
They're angling in towards the save. They were all kind of banking on the fact that they could get up in towards short, but the bomb dropped, and that is the round. Nice little response coming through. And even when Bajmi fell, I sort of had a feeling that it could potentially be in a position of trouble, but that double from Moonwalk is massive. It makes it a 1-round game once again. It's going to put a bit of pressure on towards the finances of Sinners too. Of course, they can just about squeeze out a buy here. Deagle to work with for Shock to round it out. 1 AK for Kisarek. Galil's across the board. So it's a buy, but it's not exactly the fullest of ones.
Let's see if they choose to go more passive on Banana. They're playing out of it for the moment on the T side, and that makes sense given the airstrike they just fell victim of. Now they can go in for their control. It's Peppo there that's leading the way. Kisarek now comes in. Still more Yuto coming out of this CT side. For the moment, full control established for neither team. Ryko here is just going to stick around for the moment. Smoked by the half wall. T certainly could go through this. They so desired. Just going to bide their time. And clearly we can see that these CTs have other ideas. They've dropped right back to solo B. Presumably they plan to do something A soon.
I guess just when you're Olymp in this position, chaining smoke, he's got a smoke in hand. My assumption, another one dropped somewhere in around CT. There it is. So he picks it up. So he's going to try and whittle down the clock and maybe even force them to head back towards that quad stack of A. I wonder whether that's the case. The bomb's going to join in this direction. Uh-oh. They could be walking into danger now. And time is of the essence. Of course, they lost to it in that previous round. This could be dicey here. Kisarek bomb on his back. And he'll join the 2 over towards the A site. There's a spam war behind that smoke. There's now 3 in this direction, though. So they undermanned as they rotate around. And Bajmi has to go huge. Gets 2. Looks for more. He's again just trying to buy time. And Bajmi. Oh, he's doing so well. The clock's gone. Oh, and he gets another tap as well. Bajmi, what a round coming through from him. 4 kills to his name. And single-handedly shutting the door on the A site and shutting down this round. Sinners get no room back in towards A. That is devastating because in the end, the call ended up being right.
It was. It was. The CTs were not in a good position. This kill from Shock, I was quite confident that was the round. It was a free B lean from friendly campers given it all the pressure out from Sinners, but I think time again maybe not helping the Czech base side. It looked pretty disjointed to me as they're coming up short. If they're better spaced, a trade probably would have come in. And that's going to sting. It's a couple rounds now where Sinners have been absolutely in the running. But in the closing stages, some individuals, big plays on this CT side. And now the money's in a very treacherous position. Got this 1 rifle on B stick. But yeah, he'll need to do something pretty incredible to put this round in the balance.
Oh, what a bad time to quick switch. Or Bajmi, thankfully, it looks like it won't be too problematic. He's going to get 2. Samey, a double of his own, so he'll lock it down. Last man of B-Stick, a molly in towards Cubby, but it will not affect Bajmi at all. And actually, this bomb is still unrecoverable without having to fight for it. B-Stick will lose his head. Bajmi ends up being a great round from him. Again, what a start he's having. These last 2 rounds have been electric.
Okay. Well, buys back out for Sinners. No huge sacrifices. B-Stick does fall onto a Tech 9, but at least the util is there, and that tends to be the most important thing. On a map like Inferno, another change-up from the CT side, but a few different looks, and this time it's going to be A aggression. Flashing through, peeking into second mid. It's very, very bold. And could fall flat if they're not careful. Ryko is Wow, I can't believe. I think he found both those kills on sub 20 HP.
Yeah.
3 for him. He gets out with his life yet again. These individuals on the CT side are doing an absolute number on Sinners.
What are these remaining two do? They're going to head towards B. Ryko's back over. More than anything, if they're able to isolate Olymp, Ryko under a lot of pressure. It's actually a bad smoke. They've snuck around it. I really hope that Olymp's sort of aware of this possibility. Doesn't need to peek around this corner, but under that minute mark now. Ryko making a move. Damage dealt. If Olymp falls, this round comes back on, but he's there. He steps up for one, and again, he's just trying to play a bit of the clock, buy time for the rotation, playing around Nubox. Peepo will find him. And he's heads up on a 1 versus 2. This is doable.
I'm not sure he's helped himself that much with that smoke. It's given space for these CTs to play around with, and it's not a safe plant right now. Smoke briefly bursted, and I guess Sammy could see a little bit of a shoulder. So, good conversion in the end. Again, it's just the early aggression. It's so bold. It definitely could have fallen apart. There's absolutely no doubt about it, but that is the fine margins we're playing with at the moment. Friendly campers are on quite a streak.
Yeah, they're looking really quite crisp. And for Sinners, it's damning. I mean, if friendly campers get this map, they're in a lot of trouble in the series. I know they don't mind a nuke, but I've seen plenty of times when under ESC that this team was so good on nuke. Easy to look like one of the sharpest teams in tier 2 on that map. Low bite for the Sinners side, just Tech 9s to work with.
Sinners need to keep this money in check. It's getting a little bit out of control. Round win on lot. You can do a lot of damage on this sort of buy. Of course, know that players are now in banana, and as good as having an AWP here is, there is scope for it to be overwhelmed by bodies. And look at the CT side; they are going to fully leave this AWP alone. Bit of a creep. Shots fired, and Sammy doesn't have a molly or a smoke. Pulls his teammate back over. That's Ryko behind. At least the numbers are a little bit bolstered. I think these T-side players are going to go. Smokes are flying over. Are there any flashes to deal with this AWP? Not yet. And Sammy delivers. 2 for him. Olymp goes 1 for 1. Ryko gets nothing. And suddenly we're left in a 2-on-2. They might have lesser HP, but this means rifles and an AWP. Granted, seeing shock on an AWP. Not sure how that is going to go.
Yeah, I'm with you. Shock. Holding for the boost, but they might just go through this spot. He's given the chance. Oh, can't quite flick on towards Bajmi. Where is B-Stick? He's now got to realize of the potential. Tap on towards the bomb, but B-Stick sneaks through. Sinners rip one back and keep this a close game. This Inferno so far is delivering.
Maybe we'll see it in the replays, but I don't understand how Olymp died. He was the one rotating in. I think B-Stick just spammed the smoke and got a wild headshot through it. That is pretty gnarly. And then the player backside, I believe it was Ryko, couldn't find any frags. Sammy did his job. He found 2 and was pulling all the attention as those players are rounding the corner. So, yeah. Setup falls apart for the CT side, and despite Sinner's struggles on gun rounds as of late, that round has put them right back in the running. Timely pause. It is a tech, but I think friendly campers might have desired a timeout anyway, just to get on the same page. That is going to sting.
Yeah, just when it feels like you're about to get a bit of momentum as well. Big thing for Sinners, they would have loved to have kind of, you win that round and you can just use it as a catalyst now heading in towards the next. But we take a breather here. Full by both ways. And what generally we like to consider a swing round, maybe a little bit of a looser term as there is still residual cash for friendly campers, but same can't be said for Samey and Moonwalk. So winning this could even net a much easier second. Whenever we're
Feels
back.
like everybody's on the server.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes the small things like TeamSpeak, that kind of vibe.
yeah, hopefully nothing too bad. We're hearing some pitter patter in the chat, so hopefully that is a good sign. Some angstiness here. Does they want to get live again?
Yeah. Typing comes through generally is kind of like a ready up. Or you hope, that is. There we go. We're back. Get the show on the road.
Individually, who excites you the most on this CT side?
Ooh. Do you know what? I mean, there's actually a few different people I can throw in there, but I think for me, somebody who I've liked watching recently is Raiko. I don't think he actually gets a lot of the limelight, but I've seen some really, really nice Counter-Strike from him. Just like one of those kind of players who I think, at least for kind of friendly campers, they can allow him to just free roam a little bit, and he can look really, really good. And everything in terms of rifling, he's super solid. Samey, of course, as an AWP has been around for a while. I think for Samey, he had moments last year where things were not great for him. But yeah, Raiko's always one that I like to look at. I think, you know, just kind of, I think he's relatively young. He's got to be like early 20s. Actually, to be fair, he's 26, older than I thought. But yeah, he's good. That's the guy I'll throw out there. He's got a lot of experience as well. He played for a bunch of teams. Played for ITB for a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, must be good then.
Yeah, guaranteed. I mean, granted,
How could he
he's there
not
for
be?
all of a month. I think he was basically there over the player break, from Ryan saying. So it kind of was like, you know, for not a lot. But I remember the announcement.
Olim,
Shot.
Alex has the big green in his hands this time and stunts this offense. Shock and Strasarin doing their damnedest, and Olim's going to come onto the site despite his low HP. I'm not sure I can get behind that decision. Leaves his teammates in a 2-on-2. Hopefully for Sinner's sake and get this bomb down without too many more issues. Re-smoke onto CT. Some good util for the CT side. Here it comes. Molly goes in first. I don't think that's going to catch the planter. That's not an issue. There's still space for Shock in towards Emo, not into these swings into the Molotov. And now we bed in to our 2-on-2. Smoke in CT is gone. Strasarin wants his duel. There's no damaging util to flush him out. That's a smoke. He's not scared about playing around that, but goes down all the same, and Moonwalk comes in. So fabulous 2-on-2 for the CT side, and they get back on top.
Yeah, I think for Strasarin, he assumes it's a molly initially, because that's traditionally what you try and throw in towards Nubox to clear it out. And I think he then gets caught in transition and spots one. He's a little too eager to fight. Time could have been played a little better there. And unfortunately as well, on the flip side, you know, you kind of saw Shock, who was trying to fight up towards the end. So, nice retake as you were talking about. And again, like a nice spot to be in. 6 rounds, CT side. You're not going to complain about that at the very least. And a really good spot to actually guarantee a lead heading in towards your T side. I feel like you not need, but you should want that kind of lead heading forward. I feel like this is a map, or one of the few maps where it actually feels quite even in terms of the CT and T side disparity. But just having a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of a buffer zone would go a long way. Oh, it's one of my nades.
Eppo needs to do something on this AWP. Their money was limited. He could have gone AK and dropped to Galil. Chosen instead to bring out the big green. And Strasarin's already gone. Samey, despite the flashbang, finds his man. B-Stick, that's a good kill. And he's taking space on his own. This could really flummox the defense. How's he found such a bizarre gap? No way! He's been 4-3'd. He must have. How's nobody seen each other? There's nobody B right now. Unbelievable. B-Stick. Oh, what? The second kill is vicious from B-Stick. I mean, the timing is phenomenal. Throwing that double kill as well, and that is a round win for you.
I don't know what you can do here for Sammy. 1v3. B-Stick. Another round where he leads by example. Gonna give it a go. Sammy looks in. Oh, first find is crisp. Needs to go towards Banana. Needs to clear pool, and he doesn't. And the MAC-10 of Shock will see him off. Nice round for Sinners. We have to be honest, they get very, very fortunate, but you can only kill what's in front of you, and B-Stick does a good job of that with 3.
Peppo fought the remaining CT they were saving. So for a moment, it was a one-on-one on the bomb site, and there was no chance of stopping a defuse, I don't think. So that would have been pretty awkward. That one gone south. You can see the mini-map there. Unbelievable. Peppo is way out. Anyway, round 12 to follow. It's last of the half, so friendly campers are always going to force buy, and this one is a bit of a grim one to look at. It's a 1-for-1 trade in mid, and they've started 3B, have the CT side moonwalk with a CZ tasked with fending off 4 players. His teammates, can't blame them, are sprinting to try and lend some sort of hand, but they're a little bit too late. They're now in apartments, but this bomb is going down. There's you two heading their way. This is a nightmare.
Because this one's basically all but done. Any other round, you'd probably be angling for the save here. Of course, Fanner out of the half, there is no point. B-Stick treaded out by Bajmi, but even still, numbers favouring the C side, and they're so ingrained in towards this A site. How do you get in? Especially with this HP that they've got to work with. Missed shot with the repeat of Peepo, but they still walk into Shock. You highlighted him, and he's not on a bad half, to be fair. He holds the cross now, and there could be another kill for him. Gets caught, but it will not matter. Kisrex sees it off 6-all at the half. It is even Stevens, and we'll see whether this continues after the break. Welcome back. We had a pretty spicy first half here. All tied square, 6 apiece. And this was like a bit of a read by Sinners. They're playing not a lot of presence initially in towards second mid, and then they're going to retake this position after the quote-unquote information has been gathered. Oh my. I wonder how much that misread could end up punishing them. But this is a really interesting move by Beastic. He had a kind of a great half in his own regard. A lot of rounds run off the back of him alone. And he's in the back lines, but I don't think he's actually going to have any impact.
Hold your horses. Somebody needs to throw a flash, is what I'm thinking. Okay, they're going to throw it from second mid, and they're going to go. Bad flash. It hit the roof. Yeah. CT should not be blinded. Strasarin finds 2. Chance of another. He gets a little bit overwhelmed. And despite having 4 bodies there, actually, as the move came in, it's just Kisarek. Might be able to get a one-on-one versus Olin, but I should think Olin would do better to join his teammate. He loops in towards library, and got to be said, at this point, you wouldn't have thought Kisarek is going to consider that position. Here we go. Olim swings. Oh my. There was a chance there. Wow. And I think Olim knows it.
That's a good pistol to take. It's so important. Just getting that early start in towards this half. So back and forth in terms of momentum in that first half. Stresson does well, and unfortunately, you just needed him to probably get that other kill on towards the site, because they still pounce in. Really nice work by Olymp at the end. Great individual performances. Samey, Jaime, all both looking really, really quite crisp. And this is without kind of Raiko really finding his form. When he gets going, super dangerous player to deal with.
Just 2 here. It's a B-lean from Sinners on this 4 spy. They're not actually playing the side proper. It's kind of double long side. So they are relying on the T's coming this way. Peppo gets his chance, but they were kind of half in, half out of shock that wasn't there with his teammate. And now he's between a hammer and an anvil. Does find one, but surely gets overwhelmed soon. He does. And they will favour the save. So Polish side up to 8. It is looking quite comfortable now for them.
Yeah, it's nice. I think as well it comes back to kind of this conversation that's brought up a lot. And I don't know if have we spoken about kind of the CT side 4 spies in the past, and in a few times we've casted together. It's something that I bring up quite a bit, right? Which is I've never really been that big of a fan of CT 4 spies, and last year throughout the entire year, it's something that I kind of banged on about quite a lot. And last year throughout the year, every single match I commentated, I made a note of from every region, split it into regions and whatnot, and CT4 spies and how successful they were. And the success rates were pretty low. I think the highest success rate was the Asian region. And even then, highest was like 35%, something like that. EU was about 25% success rate on CT4 spies. Well, a lot of teams go for it. What are your thoughts? Kind of, you know, especially kind of having been in the
depends on the map, first and foremost. Okay. The reason. So I look at these 4 spies very differently to how most people would. I would look to the first gun round and then work backwards. So I think most teams force on Inferno because they want full nades on the first gun round. Not because necessarily the 4 spy is amazing. But I do think it is pretty decent on this map. But you do need to get smokes. You need 5 smokes to play out the round. So that I think is sense. The reason. But certainly now with the kill reward bonus and of course the M4 being a little bit, the A1S being cheaper, that I could see an argument for just saving. You probably could get pretty good util if you made the right sacrifices.
Oh, it does get a ding, but is it going to be enough? There is some decent trades. It's back into a 2 versus 2.
Bomb?
And yeah, bomb plus Raiko's low plus a recovered Galil. You maybe even argue here. Advantage on the CT side.
Yeah, I don't know what you do as the T's. You could smoke on the bomb, but I'm not actually in favor of that because of how much chaos you're going to create Good kill from Moonwalk, and Kissarex looking library. Bit of a bizarre one. I think Sinners should have done better there. I'm not really sure what was going on there. I think one of them had a molly as well that never came into play. I think they could have done more, the CTs, to get on the same page, because that looked really scary for the Ts.
Yeah, that was, in a way, it's kind of surprising how easy they were able to recover, and then on top of that, win out the round. It really felt like Sinners, like you said, should have done a lot better. So, 9-6, 3-round buffer, but the first gun round that comes through for Sinners. Ryko going to go ahead of the Util. He is flying up long, but he's kept at bay by a molly and a HE behind it, just to whittle him down as he's under 40 points of HP, but it doesn't matter. Ryko's still going to find the kill nonetheless. Peepo drops, stress on, trying to time his way through, and he'll catch Ryko spamming that smoke in library. They still have this opportunity to wrap through, but a Moto smoke's going to force them to pump the brakes.
Shock's been hung out to dry this entire round. He's been on his own, sat in pit. He had to use his own smoke to block Moto to try and buy some time, and he continues to be a menace. He got a lot more there than he ever should have, given the positioning. He's given his teammates a chance. It's still a difficult retake. They might have util, they might have a man advantage, but this A-bomb site can be a tough nut to crack. And in we go. Where do they deploy these smokes? Got a pair of them. Got a molly as well, potentially for pit. That would flush Sammy out into the open. Buddy system here as they start to clear short, and you consider every possibility. Molly comes in, Sammy forced wide, but still has a decent angle. Can he find a duel? Yes, he can. And that is why this bomb site is a tremendously difficult retake. The crossfire works to perfection.
Yeah, it does. Up to 10 now, double digits for friendly campers. 4 ahead, 3 away as the money takes a bit of a hit over towards Sinners. I mean, sure, they've got now this loss bonus to work with. But yeah, it's a bit of a predicament if we're being completely honest now for the Sinners. They're actually running out of chances to get back into their map pick, and we've already spoken about this with that nuke coming up next, just how good it's been for friendly campers. I really am starting to get quite concerned. I really feel like they have to take this if they want a chance.
Engine as well. It's probably the 2 best maps for the Polish side to follow in this series. So that is going to be a hard route to victory. This one is a half buy. There is an AK here on B stick, but to be honest, is he the best man to wield that gun? Get onto a shock right now, to be honest. What I'm thinking, but chosen to do that. T side should understand, I think, this buy. I haven't seen any mollies, but they've seen some smokes. I think they'll understand it's a half buy, so they shouldn't be thinking of taking too many risks. And a 5A stack from Sinners, so you can clearly tell what they want the friendly campers to do.
Under a minute, decision to be made, and thankfully it's the right one. They're avoiding the stack. Ryko gets team flashed, but very soon as they head in towards B, they'll realize, oh, no one's here. CT smoke will come through, and they're taking all the necessary precautions just in case, but yeah, they're going to realize it's completely barren. They found their way in. There is a late rotation from Kisarek as he gets spammed down through the smoke. That'll probably be basically all she rose. The kind of priority, more than anything, is just keeping that AK alive. I mean, if the MP9s wanted to go in for this, they could, but in the same vein, there's just no real point. You're not going to do too much. The T-side economy is already in a pretty solid space as well, so what is actually the point trying to fight at the end here? So they're going to shell up and save towards A. That is an 11th for friendly campers.
They look fabulous.
There's one full gun round being the difference between friendly campers where they're at now and taking the map. And actually, you know, fundamentally, Alan, taking it easily. This is still a flawless second half.
Yeah, it was 6-0. 6-0 on the flip. It's looking very good. It's got to be said, I hate to bag on individuals, but when Kissarek's probably supposed to be your best player right now, he is not having a great game.
Spot on.
Stressarin, I mean, he had some huge moments at the start of that first half, don't get me wrong, but certainly as of late, he hasn't been a huge difference maker. Peppo, for me, without a doubt, to be honest, is the player under the most fire on this team. I think everyone else's roles make sense. I think individually they have looked very good. Peppo is the one where I look at him and say, you know, it sounds brutal, but if you're going to be an AWP, you're going to command those resources. I need impact.
Yeah.
And he's one of those players that has the space on this CT side to make a difference, and he needs to sooner rather than later, or we're going to be on Nuke.
That's why I'd make the argument, you know, if I was going to go head-to-head between Peppo and Sammy, I would probably actually pick Peppo in terms of just raw AWPing ability, but you're right, we're just not seeing the impact here, with Sammy's having an absolute flyer of a map. Looking really, really good. Molly down, or keep buying me at bay. Flash over, he's not punished for us, he stays behind that pillar. He'll, for the most part, avoid him too. It's not a bad angle for him to just kind of shell up here and wait and see if he gets gifted and he fights. He has spotted the shoulder of one. He waits for a reaction, doesn't get it. Stresson's in a bit of trouble here. That is pretty damn spammable.
Well, they've lost B-Stick. That's a huge problem. They could get wrapped. Stressarin does his job. 2 fast kills from in and around default. There is a player coming behind, but Baimi is dispatched before this flank. Comes huge effect. What can he find? Peppo ready and waiting. Does collect. So Sinners survive for now. Stressan is a hero because I think his team, as you mentioned, they were so passive there on A. They were so scared to take fights, Sinners. They gave up so much space, and without Stressarin, we would be on a red carpet to Nuke right now.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. It's a lifeline, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done before we're convinced. At the very least, it's extended this map a little bit, and of course, it's reaffirmed the econ a bit too. Peppo was tempted by the peak, but I think makes a smart choice of just not swinging in towards that. Considering Sammy has an AWP on the flip side.
The Sinners I saw last week could win from these positions. They could do it. Yeah. They were decisive, they were aggressive, they were bold. And these are all the things they'll need to be to give this one a stab. Kisarek, it's most certainly not been his map so far. Still time to right those wrongs. First found, second is good. Have a gun picked up. Ugh. Bit scary here with all that util going down, but he's already done his job and looks like shock in the meanwhile. From Boiler has nailed this one home, so this round is pretty much cooked already. Kisarek. I actually don't blame him with the HP.
Yeah, why not?
You know, what else are you really supposed to do?
And what do they do now, really? 2 versus 4. Next to no information about the setup as well. I mean, the one positive they got is, of course, the bomb on the back of Baimi, but...
Is he saving? I mean, that doesn't look like a round-winning move in T-Apps.
20 seconds, eh? I feel like they might be shelling up. Playing for overtime is kind of, in a way, the worry that I have for friendly campers. If you are overly cautious, you know what I mean? I've seen this happen so many times where teams, you know, it feels in certain situations, I know they have a little bit of extra cash on hand. I wouldn't even mind them being a little bit more active here, because an 8th gets found with the save. The buy around is pretty brutal. They can squeeze out a buy, but Olam's going to take a hit. You lose this one. It is then where you're like on the knife's edge. So I worry a little bit where teams are a little bit too cautious with a slight lead, and they don't keep pressure on towards that CT economy, and they allow the pathway back in for Sinners. So that's one thing that worries me. I've seen it happen a few times here. ESC may even come a time where they want to weigh up, is the risk worth it? And I hope that it is. But another round for Sinners, up to 8 now. And now we also are getting to a point as well for Sinners where they're getting a lot of long-term econ. So friendly campers, they're going to win. They're just going to have to do it the hard way.
Started 3B Sinners. Peeled off now. I'm guessing B-Stick there dropped his nade set. CT spawn. But they've changed tactic here. It's a very passive B hold. Kisarek can throw The util set for in and around the half wall. He's doing that just now. So that will at least, ensure that nobody is super aggressive for this T side. But they are going to test this, get their molly down and aid onto sandbags. They're pretty happy that nobody's home. And they're just going to go, wow, okay, they were going to go, but they fought twice. Peppo finds the first, and now this is not good. You can't be half in, half out. There's a molly at their feet. That is not how it's done in terms of being decisive. One for Moonwalker, but he is traded. And now friendly campers. The gig is up, really. I don't think anything should surprise Sinners now.
Strike playing behind this smoke. Probably needs two here. I do like the wrap actually coming through from Olymp. And the molly will try and split them up. Oh, B-stick. I don't even blame him for being caught off guard there. He assumes that Kisarek has the info, missed shot as well. Now, of course, they know Olymp somewhere. Oh, two. And Peepo going to get one as well, but the Flames will see him off. It is down to the wire there. But it's just about a round for the CT side. A 9th now for Sinners. And they're getting back into this. This is dangerous territory for friendly campers.
Seeing that replay again of the sight hit from friendly campers, it was tenth of a second of hesitation cost them massively. They really could have traded out the AWPer. They're moving in together. They weren't on the same page. The molly made it difficult, and look at that. It might just be a half buy for friendly campers, but you want these rounds to be more competitive than this. Absolute slam dunk there on Banana. 5v3 from the off. Sinners. They're really warming up now, aren't they? This has got overtime at a minimum written all over it.
I think you're right. It's a little bit earlier, but I've just seen it happen so many times. You're a little bit too cautious, then your economy takes a hit, and before you know it, you are, in a sense, playing for that OT. Molly down, tick there on towards Olymp, so Stresson knows his body's in this direction, just jiggling for information. Flash round to try and facilitate his own fight, but it's Peppo with a fine. Stresson looks for one of his own and gets it as Olymp bomb on his back, Tech 9 and 45 seconds. This round should be all but confirmed that it's Peppo to see it off. 3 kills to his name. And, Alan, you asked about the impact from him here. We're now kind of finally starting to see it a little bit.
He's warmed up, yeah. He's definitely warmed up. As said, it was more than just kind of last week, and I was watching this team play. He was the odd one out. Everyone else looked like they were playing for the best team in the tournament. And Peppo wasn't terrible, but he wasn't winning them games in the way that some of the other individuals were. So that's why we'd like to see a little bit more. He certainly is cooking on this CT side. And you know what? We speak about friendly camp, speak about letting this lead slip. Where are the pauses, man? They've let this entire lead slip about slowing this game down. They're now in the territory of potentially losing the lead here without another gun round. They're happy just to keep on playing, but their win streak is melted away so fast. And it's getting even worse. Peppo connects with another. He was solo B here. He does his job, and he might be funneling the remaining players into a bit of a stack. It's not necessarily the best positioning for an apps pop, but there's just so many CTs around. Finally lines up his smoke for Moto. In we go. I'm not sure any flash is going to hit Kisarek. He should get a good fight. It's very awkward, though. Finds one, and now the rotations come in with this util. Oh, Lord. This is really falling apart for the T side now.
Whew. Nice flick by Peppo as well. You're absolutely spot on. This has fallen off a cliff.
Wow.
Stresson will close it. 11-all. I said a little earlier when it went from 11-7 to 11-8. I've seen this happen so many times. We finally get that pause come through from friendly campers. I mean, the argument is it a little bit kind of too little too late? Friendly campers, of course, they do have a coach. Capibe, I think is how you pronounce it, but young coach is only really coached this side, but obviously they've had a really good year, all things considered, but this is not looking good now. and you have next to no money to work with. I mean, can't get premium rifles into this one. So you have to make this decision. Do we go bold and try and force in towards this, which a lot of teams would, or are we going to play essentially 4 OT?
Going to be a half buy. What they can do is the sums. There's only 1 round left in this map, whatever happens after this. So can do the they can add up the digits. Clearly, Ryko is bought under what he actually needs for a full investment in the next round. So they are somewhat dependent here on a bomb plant to ensure a good investment. And this man here, Shock, has truly come alive on this CT side. This is the MVP of the 4th and final cup. Sinners, I don't know where they were at the start of this half, but they are here to play now.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time to wake up, but since they have, it's been one-way traffic. What a display from them. Just on. So crisp from him. A flawless round to net map points. My oh my. Friendly campers. Where have this side gone? What has happened to them? This is so damning to watch as well. There is residual cash, sure. And we can get a buyout. It's AKs across the board, and they do get the Belter util as well. Oh, man, this is rough.
Eppo is playing a confident game of Counter-Strike. He just peeked in the second mid. Doesn't connect, but it will do quite a lot, I think, to put the fear into this T side, slow them down, force them to use more nades than their default. By me comes through the mid smoke. Not sure what he knows that I don't. Kind of taking this risk. Is he really up to testing the long smoke too? He is. And the CT side are leaning the other way. Stressar now starts to move, but he could be in a lot of trouble. Is he aware that this is even a remote possibility? He's trained, but not ready for that duel. And this round is not looking good. It's all on Shock, but surely that was too much to take on. 5v2 now. Bomb goes down. There's util for Motor. They can re-smoke that. This one's done. We're going overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. So again, called it a while ago, but you could just see it was written in. B-Stick. Kisarek, best of luck. B-Stick avoids the spam just about. He's looking to get a fortunate tap. The molly, he'll try and land on top of the orb, but it's not going to make a difference. All down to this man. He's got to lead by example here, but he can't even get one. Flawless to close it. Finally something out of friendly campers. And extra rounds required here. We had a pretty quick series yesterday, but this one looks like it could be a marathon.
How's that feel to it? It's also a series where both teams are very competent on all 3 maps, which tends to lend itself to close games. Okay. Well, personally, I think I'd still favour Sinners and their situation here. They looked, to me, the stronger team on the gun rounds on that second half. And we'll see if they can continue in that vein. They're going to commit again to playing 3B, so bit of a risk, bit of a double call. And look at the mid push. Kisarek opens up from Banana. Bimey seem to be aware. And there is a trade onto Stressar. And so, man advantage for this CT side, as now they settle into their defense.
Okay. Shock gonna reposition. Got the numbers, but the big thing is that question about how much can Kisarek's impact be in this round, with his HB kind of taking such a toll. Continues to be quite a slow map from him for the most part. I guess it doesn't matter too much when we're seeing Peppo now back alive, Stress on, B-Stick, Shock, all having so much impact. And 3 out of the 4 just mentioned still alive in this round if the numbers favour that CT side.
Good tag. When does this lurk come into play? As good as it is to have a lurk, that's one less player for this after plant. Peppo through the CT line, collects Olymp, and now Samy's in a lot of trouble, really. Needs to get on with this. The flank is coming in now. Moonwalk is sprinting as fast as he can. Do Sinners understand the situation? I think they do. Shock, he knows what's coming. Smoke at his feet. Nade will burst it for a moment, and Moonwalk connects. The HP is ever so low. He thought the player could be in and around the bomb site. Now that bomb is going down. Peppo doesn't want to test it. It has been planted. This should not have been winnable, given the time remaining. Makes a good go of it, Moonwalk, but Peppo is up to the task. He has really heated up in the last 5-6 rounds.
Yeah. Age of Classic as well, in a sense, where it's you're desperately searching for that all-elusive 13th. And you get it the first round of OT, but at least you get a nice start. If you can get 2 out of the 3, start things off here for Sinners, that'll be nice. Or 3, and it might already be curtains again for friendly campers. I mean, still that question remains of, was that round at the end on the T side after a pretty woeful second half in that last period? Was it? Just a fluke. Timeout taken by the T side. Again, they want to try and shore themselves back up.
Okay. So quick discussion. Getting quite hectic, these T rounds for the polls. The one they did win to get them into this overtime was... Fortune played a hand in terms of the CT setup, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, it could have been a nice read. But friendly cameras need to get something else rolling. Where can they find advantages? Bit of an A-lean on their default this round. Heading that direction. Shock is jiggling apartments, but I think he's going to stick around for a duel. Kisarek, she's absolutely assassinated Raiko. Ooh. Looks like he might have been trying to get through this smoke. That is not a good start.
Yeah, absolutely not. Moonwalk, playing around that smoke, he's really sort of indecisive about where he wants to play, whether it's in towards apps or back down into a second mid. Shock gonna fall all the way back. Shoulder spotter. That's the bomb spotter as well, so that'll be on the radar. By me gonna get both. Oh no, stress on. He pulls away at the worst possible time. His timing gets the better of him. What a round from By Me. He has gone nuclear. 20 kills now on the map for him.
What's happened to Sinners? The whole setup is designed to deal with long. They were loading up that area of the map. Shock was the one that was meant to be the most exposed. That has not gone well. Not sure exactly what happened. Caught in transition, perhaps. They clearly weren't ready for By Me to do that to them. And that puts us all square. So 13 apiece. We are most certainly in this for the long haul now. And yeah, let's not forget the overarching context here. The next 2 maps are very favourable to the Polish side. So Sinners, I still think they need to win Inferno. And now they're doing it the hard way.
Yeah, you're right. All-time scrap. I mean, By Me, that is a incredible round out of him. He gets very fortunate with the timing from Stress On, but you can only fight what's in front of you, and he does a fantastic job of it. Needing a bit of a hero. Both sides, kind of traditionally their main guy you look towards in terms of firepower, a little bit underwhelming, Raiko and Kisarek. But others are stepping up in their place, which is exactly kind of what you want to see. It's proof in the pudding that there's a lot of depth to both of these 2 sides as well. Final round of the half. Whoever it is, taking that buffer in towards the second. Just that breathing room shores you up a lot more. Nice nade that'll whittle down Olib and Raiko. Slight bit of damage on towards By Me, but nothing too notable. Yes, Raiko away, but the molly will force him back, and he takes a decent amount of damage himself. It's Shock to open things up.
Done a couple of those, playing in and around Boiler and apartments. It's been a great week of Counter-Strike for Shock. He continues to be a menace. Funneled into this B side of the map are the T side, and Peppo Zorp is there to greet them. They're trying to run in, contact first. Lack of util Turned out to be the wrong decision with Yorker's placements. Semi tries to spam, but B-Stick is now on location too. He has a HE if he wants to get breaking some of these smokes. Kisarek does spot a player. Ryko dispatched, and now this is very, very tricky for this terror side. They need to clear out this site thick and fast. Peppo, they need to deal with him right now. No time can be wasted, but that is easier said than done. Flashbang over his head, and B-Stick seals the deal. So Sinners in the lead. 2 required on this T side to end this game.
Yeah, this is that definition of back and forth. These two sides just genuinely feel inseparable. Super fun to watch, though, and so hard to predict. We swap sides. Double AWP to start for Olymp and Sammy on that CT side. Olymp, of course, secondary, but we'll see how they're trying to use it.
I think we saw this in regulation, so
yeah,
a bit of a change up.
Play out through B. And Sammy spawn-based, I mean, of course, and a pretty standard position for the AWP to play in towards mid. This is a nice little change-up. I like this.
I'm not sure if Sammy showed the AWP. I think they'd want to show it on A, try and bait in him. An unsuspecting move on Banana from Sinners. So let's see. Of course, the AWPs are all well and good in these early to mid rounds, but if we get to a retake, it's not a given that that's going to be the best idea. Okay. It's all slowed down for now. AWP on Banana. Surely this comes into play soon. Olim does see the head of Kisarek on the jump, but Kisarek swings so aggressively that Ryko, frankly, never stood a chance. And now it's just the AWP here. Do they choose to move behind it? I'm pretty sure they will, given all of this utility. Olim decides to fight. It's a nice kill. In fact, he might even had a collateral there, but still, yeah. It's 4 alive for this T side. They've got repeat util that can go into CT. I mean, did they ever expect shock as well in this position?
Very nearly land them up.
I don't think they should be saving, you know. I know they might. If an AWPer can run out of money.
Yes, yes.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this would have been worth a crack.
Yeah, why not as well? I feel like there was at least a little bit of confirmed damage too. I think you're right. Sammy gonna get a no-scope at the end just to catch shock. It's maybe a bit of a consolation, but map points is
it looks good on the scoreboard
as well,
but it doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't. Map point. And now once again, got to survive to push us to another overtime. Back-to-back rounds required. It's something that we have actually seen as of late. Apparently, campers have struggled to do. They've had these pocket moments towards this tail end of this series. But yeah, you know, getting chained rounds back-to-back has been a big issue for them.
Oh, also, for the record, it definitely wasn't worth saving, because if they lose this round, economy doesn't matter because the map's over. So
yeah, exactly.
They should have played for that. A bit of an oversight. Peppo, wow, okay. I think that was straight through the mid-smoke. I'm not sure there's any util to break it or anything of the sort. Takes his pot shot. That's an opener for Sinners. Peppo has been fabulous.
Yeah.
From about, I don't know, round 15, 16 of the regulation onwards. Punches a man advantage, and now friendly campers are in a world of pain.
Lead down, top car. Olymp got a tick in it. They'll be aware of the possibility, but a smoke to slow things down. Having that open kill is huge. Play this as a pack, and Sinners, for the most part, should have no issues as long as they can trade effectively. Seconds. Oh, and a find by Kisarek. Nearly had the chances of a second, but Ryko can't really escape from here is the issue. Smoke comes down, but Kisarek will still find him. There was no moving away.
He's warmed up now, hasn't he? Kisarek is here to play. He was way down, but he's encroaching on an even scoreline. Individually, that is. Mid is cleared. There's nobody home. Sinners, he'll take a tremendous Tremendous individual outplay for Friendly Campers. A tremendous error from here for this to fall apart. I don't see it happening. They got 5 here. Site is taken. Time set up for after plants. They realise soon enough that pit and such is not occupied as well. Here comes Moonwalk. Shows himself doing his damnedest, but he's about to walk into the lion's den. His teammate's flash never made it over. Second one does, but it didn't catch anybody. Molly is okay, but the jaws of death await. And Peppo strikes home. Sinners will be claiming Inferno. An elongated affair, but a victory all the same. They will feel good about that.
Yeah, really, really nice recovery, I think, more than anything. They looked like they're on death's door. And I think you'll probably look back at that sort of map. And as a whole, I think for Friendly Campers, they'll just be kicking themselves. They should have closed that out. They really let things slip towards the end. They allowed Sinners back in. They allowed them to chain rounds together. And now by taking that map, it gives them a lifeline. We decide that they can do a hell of a lot of prep. And of course, with this cup being so important, surely they've done absolutely loads to understand what are the defaults looking like, what are the setups looking like, and how can we break them down as well. And we'll have to see, but Sinners themselves play this a decent amount to a good amount of success, so it's not exactly like the slouches on this map by any means. And I'm wondering whether they can bring that momentum over as well, right? You know, it's a great end to the map for them, a nice recovery in the way they're able to close out their map pick in that overtime, and just shore themselves up of our individuals are capable of going toe-to-toe. And that's exactly what we saw towards the end. So alive, CT side start here for Sinners. And an early flash. Oh my. Samey and Olin getting 2 apiece. Okay. So you can read all you want, but that is such a quick pistol round. Are you kidding?
20 seconds. Ish into that round. Never even got a look in, did Sinners. So if there's any lagging rage from Friendly Campers coming over from map 1 to map 2, any lingering feelings of resentment, well, they just got dished out on the server. They looked pretty fabulous there. It's off to a good start. In the end of the Cup 4, that was played last week here in Challenger League, Shock as the CT ramp player, surprisingly, was often the man to watch. Don't normally say that, but keep tabs on that young man. During this game here on Nuke, he is a beastly ramp player.
Let's see. They're flying in. Yeah, nice.
We had 40 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is so quick. But here's the first true test. Gun's going to come and play for Sinners. MP9 for Kisarek, but the rest of the team will wield the rifles. And a good indication maybe how strong they're looking at. It's a good litmus test this early on. Pretty even round, all things considered. There's a Galil for Moonwalk. Of course, that MP9 for Kisarek. That even each other out. So I get to see maybe what Sinners have got up their sleeve. If anything, if this round is to be the same as the first couple, then we're definitely in for a hell of a lot of trouble. Early outside look. Smokes will come down as well to give him the cross, and B-Stick tempted to play around as he'll tuck just behind, hoping for somebody to play up towards Silo. He's got a slight gap above that smoke.
It's one of those maps where, slightly curiously, it's B-Stick that plays what probably is the most influential position. Outer rifle on Nuke might be the most influential position in Counter-Strike, straight up. I'm guessing that's because he's a very proficient communicator. He's got a good read of the game. I think that's the idea to B-Stick's position out here. But does he have a read that there is actually a player down secret? Of course, we can see the bomb really is lobby. But if Moonwalk can pull a rotation or two, it does stand a good chance of exposing this A-bomb site.
What do I do? Moonwalk pulls his way back up. It's a little dicey. B-Stick for one. Kisarek. Trade. And unfortunately for Stresson, there's just nowhere to escape there because of that Molly back sight. Really good util usage. The flash will come over. Peppo is indecisive about how he wants to play, and he takes 4 damage too. Panic and flustered, the youngster. And this numbers disadvantage retake doesn't feel like it has legs behind it. The Shock's at the net. Did they even spot him? I don't think they might. Oh, yeah, okay. Samey must have caught a pixel because he double checks in. And that should be all she wrote in this one. They know where Peppo was. So it's going to be another round for Friendly Campers. And in the end, another quite clean one.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is. It didn't look too bad for Sinners. They weren't overreacting to the lower presence. Peppo saw players coming up secret. And at that moment, they had 2 on A proper, Peppo in and around Heaven, and B-Stick was back garage, able to hold the mini move from the T side. So at that moment in time, it looked pretty good. It's just that the CTs could never get in good spots on A. That molly behind the silos was a bit of a nightmare for Shrasan in the end. So I think we need to give credit to friendly campers. It wasn't like it was an open site. Just such high quality of execution, such good opening kills that made it look like a bit of a breeze. So they're up to 3. This one's a half buy for Sinners. And despite us only being in round 4 of this half, we're already in the territory where Sinners need to start blunting this terrorist economy, because right now it's looking quite favourable.
Back towards our side, the whole group moving in this direction. Oh, in the smoke, Kisarek. Is he going to play through it, or is he going to stick inside? No, he's waiting. Ships in the night. They've walked past each other, but Kisarek is getting all of this info. Surely they're keeping an eye on it. They are, but he's tucked, and he's tucked well. Right, let's get one. Looks for another as well. Oh, he's going to get it. Hang on. 5-7s are dangerous to deal with, but thankfully Raiko able to stop him at 2. This round still got legs though for the pistols. Moonwalk is 1 foot in the grave.
So Peppo was in Seeker with his rifle. Couldn't get anything done, unfortunately. That would have been an epic 1-2 punch with the way Kisarek was pulling all that attention. B-Stick in and around that garage door entrance at the moment. Not bad on the pistols. Strasaran obviously dancing a bit with the devil with Buy Me above him. A Moonwalk now starting to skate into view. He's such low on HP. Strasaran finds one. B-Stick. Well, the HP there didn't actually matter given the headshot. And that looked... I mean, Kisarek's kills are obviously amazing, but that almost looked pedestrian for Sinners. That was easy in the end.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. I was so worried. If Kisarek gets a third here, the round's all but done. But this first is excellent. The second ain't too bad either. Really is one of those rounds where you gotta hate to lose those if you are friendly campers. Just gives an easy route back in, and now a chance to put real pressure on, right? Of course, bite that comes back in place for friendly campers, but you lose this one, and Money's gonna take a fairly decent hit. Moonwalk and Raiko have really nothing left in reserves, and it starts well. Stress on for 1, Kisarek for 3 at the same time. They've immediately shut down this A-pop. That step up in pace has done nothing to catch Sinners off guard.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily see the best of Kisarek, did we, for a lot of Inferno, but
true.
That was more like it. And think about the A-bomb site here. It's Kisarek and Strasan that are playing A. Granted, a couple rounds ago, they did get caught out by the execute, but if they can just get in a spot and get some good duels, you would back them. You would back them all the way, just like we saw there with Kisarek. So combine the round we just saw with the half-buy win, and that is an economic landslide as far as the polls are concerned. 1 AK out on the server. There seems to be a scout in play, but yeah. About all in making huge individual outplay, you would not fancy the chances of the T's here.
No. You're spot on. Oh my god, it's a bold move to say the least, but he actually gets out. And Samey's going to find a kill. They've got down
to the
B.
CT's positioning as well. They've all come outside. They do deal with Samey, but that of course comes at a cost, and that cost is oodles of map control on this lower side of the map. So let's all start paying attention. If Olim had more HP, that'd be great. Maybe get this rifle off to Moonwalk, perhaps. That'd be better. But Olim finds another despite the HP. He's now traded. Can someone grab that AK? By me does. No armor. That somewhat spells his demise, and Kisarek is well up to the task. So we're not going to call it easy, but reasonably clean in the end.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort by any means by friendly campers. Credit to Olim, right? He plays so selfless in a sense there. Absolutely flying in towards ramp, and it's at such a risk to him, and he gets away with it and then does super well. There's definitely silver lining to take away from that. Bomb plant, couple of kills. You're not too miffed, but it is a tied game. You come back in towards the buy, and if any campers don't find this, it's a similar thing where you're stuck in this cycle. Full buy in, failing to find success. Eco, rinse and repeat. It's never where you want to be. It's so easy for the rounds to run away from you at a rapid pace. They've got to shut
back
down
to
this
outside
momentum.
control. There's no way they were going to do an A round after the previous, and
yeah,
expect the CTs know that. B-Stick's going to start this round. He's actually holding for a vent dive. We know that's not going on, but they're clearly scared all the same. Cross smokes come down. Lots of noise being made here, so I don't think B-Stick should be caught off guard. They'll realize soon that the vent is not a threat. And he can pivot off. He has his smoke, and he dispatches that towards this deeper angle in secret. So a window for Sinners here. B-Stick's going to peel off the lower site, and if they're going to take this risk, this lean, I really need them to get information. And unfortunately for them, I think it's going to come too late, because the CT, their terror side, are gaining all this lower bomb site ground with no resistance right now.
Okay, B-Stick here to try and shut them down. Is he going to have a plan? He will. He breaks open. B-Stick is still sneaking on by. It's a little labor, but he will get the 2 kills required with a bit of help, in all fairness, from Shock. And it puts it all on the shoulders of Sammy. He's trying to find a gap here in the defense. There's just so many bodies to fight. He'll catch stress on. But they can just get on the bomb now. There's nothing really he can do to deny this. He can still make it expensive, which he will. Oh my god, they are dilly-dallying a little bit. They'll get Peppo with the kit on the bomb. They hear the steps now as well, and Sammy will eventually give it up. But there's a moment there that Sinners were going to make life a little difficult for themselves. Thankfully not to be. They take a lead.
Watch this again. The problem that the terror side had is they didn't gain any control beyond having decon. If they had players in towards double doors and control itself, that's a much easier afterplay. It's because they're all penned in. One position, B-Stick slips over the top of them, unsighted. That's where the round falls apart. Because they did have a tremendous opportunity given the way the CTs were placed. Right. Round 8. The plan, of course, does enable an investment. And we're going to get this outside wrap. Peppo needs to do work. A couple tags, but finishing his food just yet. Shock in the meanwhile from ramp finds his man and backs off. And they've seeded heaven, have their CT side. B-Stick in back garage finds one all the way onto hell. So whilst they have seeded a bit of control here, the CT side, I'm not sure they're too concerned. The frags are looking so good for them at the moment.
Nice work from Kisarek as well. Much more impact in this map so far as well, comparatively to map number 1. Really struggled to get going, but same can't be said here. All on the shoulders of Sammy. And this is all but done there. No way. Sammy will still get the kill, but what more can he do? 50 seconds and a 1v5 turn 1 versus 4. There's just no need really to face. Just I'm going to play it up close. Spam from Sammy. Not netting all too much. And now he's going to try and angle to save, I'm pretty sure, but where do you go? Nowhere really feels all that safe. Just on trying to hunt. He's actually looking the wrong way as he goes back towards T-spawn, back towards the direction of lobby, but of course there's bodies here that are Kisarek. He's making a move himself and he'll find the kill. What a reaction from Kisarek just as we were hyping him up. That is a sharp shot from him to close it. 10 already in 8 rounds played. Not bad. Sinners 5-3.
He's looking like the star player right now that we know him to be. And let's not forget, we posed that question at the off of this series. Who of these two teams, who of these individuals could give Paravision something to think about? And the Sinners that I'm seeing right now, they are cooking with gas. They are looking very good indeed. Friendly campers. Timely pause, because this half is starting to get a little bit out of control. These gun rounds have been fabulous for Sinners as of late. Going to get a half buy on the board. Util is sparing. They do have 3 smokes, but yeah, they'll probably use all of those to at least feign or go for an outside cross. So Not going to have anything left after that.
Yeah. Double Mac 10. And a Galil. Far from a short up bite. Times are looking tough for this Seaside after a pretty nice start. Kisrick waiting for early presence from top up. At the molly, he gets free reign of shutting them out, moving their way in towards the A site. A smoke down as well will just slow down Olymp.
It's a bit of a change up from the defense. Peppo's taken ramp. Shock is moved secrets. Kisarek, you can get this catch. Oh my lord, that's the bomb. That is a unmitigated disaster for this T side. And B-Stick, he is so well positioned. Sinners are not missing a beat. There's no gaps in the defense. There's no hole to be exploited. And friendly campers are meeting the full force of the team that dominated Cup 4 last week right now. It's hard to believe this is the map pick of the polls the way this is heading at the moment.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like it. A side with a near 90% win rate. It was anything but at the moment. Last mana by me closed out. It's a flawless round. 2 find 6 to guarantee in the worst case scenario it's a tie game at the half, but it feels so unlikely that that'll be a possibility. Of how they're playing, it'd be so surprising if Sinners aren't going in towards that second half with like a 2-round buffer at a minimum.
Yeah, if not more. This is already a half of damage limitation for the Poles. They can get anything more. That honestly is starting to feel like a result, given how well this defense has been playing. Let's see if there's any changes. It's been default heavy the last few gun rounds. And they've got a fast move. Okay, look at that. Olymp down the vent. Change of pace. B-Stick tries to respond outside, but meets his maker with that one. So, this is much more promising, isn't it, for the T side? It's a 4-on-2 from the rip. Bomb is safe now. And we've got Olymp, bottom half of the map. They just need to join the pieces on this jigsaw puzzle and coalesce on a bomb site.
Yeah. Stress on up close. Doesn't look like he'll be tested here. So they move back towards B. Of course, we're going to play it down there, so not surprising to say the least. I think as that bomb goes down, they might just go for a save it, despite having plenty of...
I think they will fight it. I think they will.
Yeah, they've got
money.
2 AK, but the only thing I worry about is the 2 AKs, right? A lot of teams, they're so heavy on prioritizing AKs on the CT side. But you're right, you know, money is so bad towards friendly campers, and it's just so good. I mean, Shock's on nearly 16 grand. Why wouldn't you? Teams love keeping all these AKs on CT side, man. It's such a weird priority for them. I say weird, I understand it to a degree, but they love keeping the hold of them.
I suspect they played enough CS here to understand that they can force Galils. 2 more kills right now, and this terrorist money is bad. Real bad. And of course, given the bomb radius on Nuke, there is no option to stay on the lower side of the site. Of the map. Shock finds another. He has been playing his DM recently. That's all I'm going to say. He is looking fabulous. I appreciate these kills. Don't alter the course of the round, but the money's a disaster for the T side.
Raiko dead to the bomb. Oh, that is a heartbreaker. For friendly campers, you finally get around back on the board, you finally get back in it, and then you get the door shut on you. And there you go. You spoke about Galils. There's 3 of them in towards the next, and Moonwalk can only bring a Mac 10 to play. Has a little bit of extra cash, but just going to keep hold of it, I guess. Does not for that second flash. 6-4, but it's with a really good chance of guaranteeing that lead. Just coming down to the firepower once again.
And of course, win this if you're Sinners and doesn't even thinking about the investment in this final round of the half. It's going to be B-Stick finishes his food, almost traded by Moonwalk. Granted, with a Mac 10, that would have been a long ranger, but still, it was exposed for a moment. And Moonwalk seems to have taken hefty damage himself in the meanwhile. Peppo tasked with holding the lower side of this map at the moment from Secret. Hassan takes his duel and wins out.
Ooh.
This doesn't feel good to me for the T side. How do they isolate some good fights? Are they about to walk into the orb? Yes, they are. And now this is panic stations. They need to kill Pepper at least to ensure a lower bomb site plants. Pepper goes for the denial. Dispatching Util for now. He's got 2 teammates in ramp. Another player that's come down and ended up in a scenario where this bomb is very much on its own. Worst case scenario has transpired. There is no money at all in the Polish camp.
What do you do here? What do you do here? Friendly campers mentally look so checked out right now, so dejected. An awful position to find yourself in. 8 is a real possibility, not only a possibility, it's sort of expected now for Sinners heading in towards the last. Let's see, Pepper holding the gap. A smoke will come down to nullify that position, but it'll stick around and remove.
So this isn't in a fake.
They want to go for a pop.
Right now. Inside fake. Going to be ramp, I suspect, as the move. The bomb yet to commit. Is the bomb going to go in the... What's going on? The bomb is on its own. I am confused beyond belief. I don't think he knew he had the bomb, if I had to guess what was happening here. Shock finds the first. Buys a little bit of time too for rotations, and this disjointed round, it started that way for this CT side, for the Terror side. It's going to end that way, seemingly at the moment. Can they get this bomb down before B-Stick proves to be a thorn in the side? That was just a tap. And a tap too many, perhaps. It's just by me. The only player that stands between a 4-round deficit at the half. Goes for the plants. But surely he gets surrounded soon. CTs just need to play together. B-Stick ends the day before it even gets going. That will be 8 rounds for Sinners. 5 to go, and they'll be in the grand final. Quick break, and we'll see if they can do just that.
right, welcome back. It is such a good half of Counter-Strike by Sinners. They looked excellent all the way throughout. Gun rounds were such a sure thing for this side. If it wasn't for that okay start by friendly campers, that would be a non-existent first half. So I am incredibly worried about what's on offer. On the T side now for Sinners, full of confidence. Let's see if they can chain that into rounds. Olin with the dualies, can't get anything. Oh my, they needed a good start here. They won't get it. And they can wrap. They can take so much control. They don't even need to go down towards B.
And nobody's well positioned on the CT side to really offer resistance. Samey can take duels, but it's less than ideal. Beastic surely to swing to some point. Oh, a lot of missed shots. But Beastic just about comes out on top. Nobody's looking heaven. Nobody's looking heaven. Not going to matter though if they find all these frags. Good kill from Shock. Now things can calm down a little bit. Experience resides on this server. Shock and Beastic played plenty of rounds together in the past. Deadly 1-2 punch in that regard. Ryko does isolate a one-on-one, but not many bullets left. Shock seals the deal. That is 9. And friendly campers, man, we're in the territory where they need to convert pretty much every chance, and that's one more already gone.
Running out of chances rapidly. I mean, again, you made the argument now. Do you just force by any of your friendly campers? They have to win a statistical anomaly of a round. Looks like they're going to opt not to. The Eagle and the 5-7 is all they're going to bring to the table here, but my, oh my. By that metric, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, it should be going the way of Sinners here, taking a 10-4 start.
Pole started this map 3-0. Clearly,
Oh yeah.
Clearly hasn't gone well since then. Of course, we saw a pretty similar trend as well, didn't we, at the end of Inferno? Sinners, I'm pretty sure what would it be now? Sinners have won something like 19 of the last 25 rounds, I think, in this series, that sort of order. It's been pretty dominant, to be honest. And, well, we don't mind a stack. Garage is pretty well laden at the moment, but no MOTs today. Nobody's coming.
Yeah, well, just got to overcome the 5-7, which they do with ease. Don't even break a sweat on that one. That's one of the upgraded pistols already dropped. Never really had too many doubts in this one. The movement is a bit of a pack. The unit is swinging their way forward. They are doing a lot of due diligence. Credit to them. As soon as they're aware of the possibility of a stack. And, well, here's one of them. Another of that upgraded pistol will be scooped up by Samey. He looks for a head, but he'll lose his to the hands of Stress on. The USP dives in. The round is done. Get the bump on off as well, just for a little bit of extra cash. A 10-4 is where they're at. It feels so slim, the chances.
May even take a pause now. Every gun round is their chance at Pro League. It's kind of that simple, isn't it? For the polls. Sinners are looking so good. I'm Paravision watching on. I have some raised eyebrows now. I've been watching these rounds from Sinners, seeing if there are any holes, any gaps, because right now we're not particularly seeing a great deal of them. FO defaults towards ramp. I don't want to test this smoke just yet. It's Kisserek that's tasked with getting space on outside, but with his low HP, does he feel like going any further? More and more chip damage. Olim finishes the job. This is not ideal for Sinners. More through the smoke. I'm not sure they've even seen an opponent yet.
Okay, well, needed a bit of fortune. Olim's giving it. Oh my god, what a round from Olim. Okay, needed a hero to kickstart the comeback. There he is. He comes and arises in this one as Olim just farms his way through ramp. 10-5. We might be back on a little bit. They needed some bit of fortune and they'll get it. And the question now is, can they chain that to further success? I mean, there's going to be a buyback in place. That was a bonus round from Sinners, but even still, that's going to, have a bit of a knock-on effect to the confidence of at least, and even actually the buy. P250 for Peppo, Tech 9 for Kisserek.
This get nothing done in the previous round. Means they're more limited in the economy here. So chances for the Poles potentially to start making moves. Samey is dispatched within seconds. Stressan continues to show us why he's so dangerous on these T sides. Do lose shock in the meanwhile. That was going down the vent. He is dealt with. So Lurker gone. Going to reroute towards this outside area. Looks like Olymp is tasked with locking that down. He's in and around these crates. Coming out of CT spawn. Can get a good angle, get a good fight. He finds one untraded. And this is a devilish position to actually root out. Sinners might need to head elsewhere because that is not a fun duel to take as a T onto that position.
Yeah, you're right. Where to? 45 seconds to make a decision. Yes, correct. This fight's so important and he'll get it. Opens the door but doesn't commit through just yet. Olem can make or break this round a little bit, but him falling there. Door open right back. And this fights everything. Oh, B-stick. That is so crisp. Moonwalk. No time to react. And I mean, Bimey's got the fight coming towards him. That's the bomb. Oh my god, they've gifted the round to him. Maybe. He's on towards rafters. He has to try and find the last. Oh my god, Bimey is gone. Huge. 2 massive rounds coming through from friendly campers with 2 individuals who have heroic stands. Bimey previously, Olymp previously, and Bimey just then. What a hero.
I can't believe they salvaged this round. It looked like he kind of timing walked out of ramp. I guess they felt that because Kisarek had so much control that it wasn't likely that a player was down. That was a fateful decision, a fateful assumption as it turned out. I think some fortune maybe playing its hand too, but the Poles will take whatever they can get right now. That's going to keep them in this map, in this series, in this tournament. The money is bad. The Sinners, they didn't even get a bomb plant out of that, so... Okay. Tech pause. Quite sure what's going on. Samey's yet to buy. Potentially him. But we want to get back into the action, so let's get this sorted.
Yeah, man. Sinners kicking themselves in these last 2 rounds that they've lost. Nothing they can really do here. Tech pause, unfortunately, but
that one would have all got been the series as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would be a nightmare.
Absolutely. What do you do now, really, for Sinners? This round, just basically a write-off of nothing. But you basically had the map, the series, the finals in your hands, and now it's slipping a little bit.
Important for them just not to panic. It happens. You make mistakes. They've had moments of fortune, of course, themselves as well over this series, so... Well, obviously still in a pretty commanding position. Still plenty of CS yet to be played here. But just the eco, as we've said already, so not expecting too much. Rasan does have a Deagle. It's definitely their best chance for an opener. And that is a gun as well on the ground. It's a player in mini. But we could just be able to get overwhelmed. There's a lot of players around. Samey's dispatch as well. This is not a heavy investment, and Stressarin has 3 kills already. Can he make it 4? Moonwalk so low. Wow. 1 HP. That round was absolutely on off the back of Stressan.
Yeah, most definitely. 10-7. 3-round game. 2 gun rounds, basically, for Sinners to keep a hold of this lead. The lifeline is well and truly there. Friendly campers absolutely back in contention. They get deny a bomb plant here as well. He's put so much pressure on towards Sinners, where at that point we have to start looking at the likes of attack pause and all the rest. They're trying to make their way on towards A. It's Stressan for the first. Oh, and the second as well. Bimey. He was playing anti, but Stressan just swings dry. Gotta respect the confidence from him.
He's so
Ollie in there.
He is so good.
Yeah.
Do the CTs feel like giving this a look? Olymp's looking around. I think find a kill. I wouldn't blame him for going for this. Peppo is making a bit of a fool of himself, let's be honest. Moving around so much. B-Stick, much calmer head. Quite happy for Sinner's sake that it's B-Stick and Shock left alive in this situation. Time is all but gone, and that should seal the deal. So a bit of a wavering in the mid portion, but Shock ever calm, ever stable. And yeah, mega round from Sinners. The reason they went inside there is because they saw the outside presence from friendly campers. They were like, well, join the dots. A's got to be lesser defended. And Tresaren made sure that was absolutely the case.
I've got to feel for Bayern. He's playing anti because he expects it to be Yuto behind the swing, but Tresaren just doesn't care. It's a little oversight that ends up being so costly. And in a weird way as well, this round could be everything. You win this if you're Sinners. Nothing left in the reserves for friendly campers, financially speaking, and at that point, it's all but settled. And Kusek's made his way down towards Secret already. He's crossed. It's a good position to hold.
Looks like Olim's going to push ramp. Okay, I was a bit fooled by the mini-map. The Shock is on top of lobby. He's not in lobby. So this lobby crunch will go uncontested. So that is some nice control for this CT side. They still have Raiko in that back garage spot, which could prove very helpful in terms of preventing an outside wrapper, at least being an early warning system. They're yet to see each other. There goes Raiko with his kill. Tresaren's up close though. He finds one. Make it two. He has been vicious when he gets space to play with. And as mentioned, this round has the hallmarks of being the series for friendly campers. They need to turn this around.
What have you got for us? Almost his advantage. Shock gonna make his way down. Oh, it does react back in time. Important kill. Hang on. Save me. Oh, the reaction isn't there from Stress On. But it's good information to gain. I know Shock was somewhere around lobby too. Unfortunately, there's nothing really Samey can do in terms of denying her. Maybe I speak too soon. Oh, that was it. That was the opportunity. Squandered. And it's all on the shoulders of Bayern. They can't deny the planters. It's open, no less. He will get one. All but close, but Pepper rips his head off. Map and series grand final point now. Four Sinners looking like they are on track to meet in Paravision tomorrow in that best of 5.
They've barely put a foot wrong in the last week and a half of Counter-Strike. So many of their map wins as well have been in this sort of scenario where the opponent doesn't even get to double digits. Their map pool, seemingly outside of their permaban, has no weaknesses right now. They look formidable. And we asked a few questions of Kisarek on map 1. He's here to play. Tresaren's here to play. Shock playing well as well. B-Stick pretty much leading the server as well. This is final form of Sinners we're watching. And look at the buy the Poles have to fend this off. This is horrid. This is nightmare fuel.
The risk really is. Quad MP9. But more so than the firepower, the one thing that worries me is just the lack of util. If they force them to retake, they are in trouble. Smoke down front main. Outside control completely taken here by the T side, and it'll be uncontested too. And I like the patience in a way from Sinners. They're getting so much map control.
So they don't care about losing lobby. They've played enough CS to understand that it's pretty likely they have been lobby crunched by this point in the round. Heaven Jewel is everything, and Stressaren, I don't remember the last time he lost an opening duel in these rounds. He has been phenomenal. Very awkward engagements, and actually it does not go the way of the T side. The bomb is alone in heaven, curiously, at the moment. And this round is now on a knife edge. Where is Shock coming to help? Can they clear out by me? Shock, are you looking? Yes, he is. Good kill. That opens up the plant. Could plant main side. He's actually going for an open plant, which is a bold move on his behalf. But I guess Heaven Smoke makes it all the more safe. Oh, they're going to go early. Fast move from friendly campers. And this could seal the deal. Peppo just about stays alive, but loses his teammate. Low HP, but a headshot would do the job. Samey swings and saves the game for now. It is taking everything, a quad kill, to stay in the map.
That Heaven fight was everything, wasn't it? The fact that he dives up the ladder, gets one, and then is able to get down. Samey also then picks up the AWP and gets a kill with it. In 3 different rounds in this half, we have seen 3 different individuals go huge. And it's Samey's turn. Huge quad kill from him. Round collected and still not dead just yet. What a time to take it, but again, look at the effect it's had on towards Sinners. Buy is non-existent a little bit into round number 21, so this should be a 12-9 game, which is again then in reaching distance.
That's the philosophy friendly campers have to carry. They'll understand the economy, especially when they don't see any util really here, but they've fully broken it.
Oh, bye.
Well, it was Strasan on the last eco round to put the fear of God into the defense. Kisarek this time. And they are being heavily respected. Look at this. It's still 4 on the top side for the CT side, but I don't think that will be the case for long. This is curious. How do you piece this round? Of course, you have no util as Sinners, but I think the CTs might be on a mad scramble soon. They might think this is a lower site hit. Okay, now they're in the bomb.
Okay, that's good. I'm seeing. Samey, freebie there. He understands the possibility to stress on. Deletes us. Kisarek, he might have started this round, but unfortunately, the chances of him closing it are next to non-existent, especially not with 30 seconds. Steps have been heard as well, so they can react over. And then Samey sees it off. Another multi-kill round from him. 7 across the last 2 as he gets a triple here. 12-9. That is reaching distance. Lose this one, Sinners, and you're fending off overtime. Again.
Been here before.
Yeah.
Been here before. They are wily old foxes, a lot of these players. With the young guns playing like this, they will still feel confident. Can they get this over the line? Ramp looks to be the port of call to me. Peppo's come over with Shock at the start. No further advancements. Guess they've seen Olem aggressive so many times that maybe they thought send a few bodies here early. But he's not under pressure this time around. Settle into our default. Olem's actually in secret on this occasion. Or tasked with holding ramp.
Much more patient round from Sinners. I'll say Smokes will come through. It's just Olem in towards secret. He's waiting for a moment to pounce. Under a minute now as Sinners are waiting for the reaction. Raiko first to fall. Olem gets his, but a quick trade. That is so good. That stress on keeps eyes trained there. That was the one glaring gap that I was concerned about, and now they can just play the trade game as they move towards A. As long as Moonwalk doesn't get a multi-frag, they should be okay. It's the bomb that goes first. He's been given the opportunity to isolate, but he can't properly. Samey's orb still in a precarious spot, but a 2 versus 2. There's still legs behind this. 4 friendly campers. There's a flash around the corner. Bomb recovered. If anything, they want to try and dive down towards B, but time is ticking. They might have to just double pump this, pop in towards the A site. Samey will fall off the angle. And they're waiting by me. He's moved forward. Peppo, you have to win this fight, and he doesn't even consider it. Samey will fall. How do you get a plan in a situation like this? Can you even? Is it a tap? No, it's a stick. And by me falls for it. Oh, he's not going to get it. By me. Just about skin of his teeth stuff. Gets the round and keeps this side in a little bit of BM as well. Just to rub salt in the wound. Double digits now for friendly campers.
This feels like every round they've won this half, the defense, is taking a Herculean individual effort. I'm quite confident in saying that every gun round has had a triple kill, a clutch, a one-on-one afterplant. Nothing is coming easy. Sinners are knocking on the door. They've had maybe 3 chances now to get around over the line and have just about fallen short. This one is a half buy. Could be a full buy in round 24 if we get there. And for any campers, they've done a lot of the hard work. Kisarek has already dispatched. Don't fancy the chances so much at the T side, but with that kill, maybe there's a chance. Rosarin finds another. Not like this. Beastick in the meanwhile collects one outside. This would be devastating to lose in this fashion as the CT side. Olymp is here, and actually these T's are a bit out of position. It's just shock on the lower side of the map. These teammates need to get a move on. He's losing his teammates, and Olymp starts to stick. Nobody can defend this. What a bizarre round. Nobody could just get lower to help.
Yeah. B6 gonna pick up an AWP. At the end, silver lining? In a sense. But okay. 12-11. Overtime, a real possibility. All back in the hands of Peppo. It's not a bad effort. Again, when they get those initial kills, you feel like you should be closing out with the numbers advantage, and they're just unable to do so. Raiko is gun barrel very nearly blocking there. Mollies will be traded, but you're surely stuck here. All I'm going to get one. Raiko is finally dropped. It's not in fact by the AWP, it's by B-Stick. You didn't know about Samey, and they haven't got a smoke, or they haven't got one at the moment to cover him there. They've got one in the back pocket of Kisarek, but they aren't using it yet.
I still feel like friendly campers have burnt through their 9 lives at a rate of knots on their CT side. Surely Sinners, given another opportunity, will get this done. It's a 4-4 for now, and there is no body ramp. There is nothing. Samey, he's the player that could defend. Right now, he's all the way out in yard, holding a deep line in towards the elbow here. But in terms of resisting ramp itself, I don't think he's going to come into play. He's walking into the angles now, but I think he's a tad too late. Olymp has repositioned, but you can see he's actually scared of players down, which is a bit bizarre. Can he win these fights? Good tag onto B-Stick, but no frag. Swings out for a second time of asking. Peppo, in the meanwhile, does find a player. He is topside. Can they deal with Olymp? He's so low. They can. And now this is the one. 4v2. Surely they can get this over the line. There's a lot of util here for this CT side, but this is tricky. Can they root out these positions? Samey with another. Herculean is the word of use so far, and this would be in the same vein, but now it's all on Samey. Doesn't expect B-Stick. It's the long haul for the Sinners, but they get it done. Grand final awaits.
Yeah, Sinners, really, really well done. Granted, had to lock in a lot there. It was looking dicey, to say the least, at one point, but I see it over the line. And just like that, we now get a chance at